Former American President Joe Biden has apparently been diagnosed with cancer, which is surprising because I didn't realize that walking corpse had enough life left in him to inspire any cells to grow quickly and erratically. Now, you may be thinking, oh, the poor guy has cancer. Maybe we shouldn't kick him while he's down. To which I say, this is the guy who kept sending missiles over to Bibi, who was literally dropping them on hospitals where other people, presumably, would have been being treated for cancer. This is the guy who kept claiming he was going to do great stuff, only to inevitably say that he just couldn't do it because the parliamentarians said no. He couldn't add more justices to the court to tamp down the supermajority because that would encourage the next guy to not follow norms. And clearly, that decision has led to the next guy following all of the norms. This was the guy whose Supreme Court said he was living 100% of the time under purge rules where the laws did not apply to him. And he didn't think for a second to do an object lesson about why that's a bad idea. Like, you don't even need to go to extremes. Just have a few things turn into fireballs in the driveways of the justices. And suddenly, they'll probably rethink whether or not the president ought to be a king. But no, Joe Biden desperately wanted to be president because he thought it was his turn. He wanted to hold power and just enjoy the way the light dances off it when you hold it at a slight angle. He was the figurehead who let the DNC move heaven and earth around him to keep a popular figure who had a better chance of beating Trump out of the running. But I do hope Biden gets better, because I want him to watch as it is made readily apparent that all the norms that he worshipped do nothing to protect the American people from the wolves he refused to collar and cage. I hope Joe Biden is tortured by the knowledge that he was one of the least qualified people who ran in that primary. He could have stepped down during his term and let someone else run the country, but he didn't. And now the world has to deal with the mess that he refused to work to improve. Joe Biden was one of the few people who could have done such a terrible job as president that America was willing to rush back into the creepy, outstretched arms of Trump.